Hey guys, it's Mike from Mike's Rockin' Relics, and happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. Thanksgiving in Canada this week. So if you're one of my Canadian viewers, happy Thanksgiving. And I'm just going to do a quick video today. A couple of things. I had some recent pickups that I wanted to show you. And I've been putting together a new Van Halen display. So I wanted to show you that here in my studio as well, to show you what I've added to that. So I'll get right into it. Stay tuned. Okay, so I'll get right into it with a few of the records I picked up this week. This is Savoy Brown and Street Corner Talkin', which is one I had not ever found before. This is 1967 gatefold. Great British blues band if you're into Savoy Brown, and this is on the Parrot label. Nice condition. And really crisp spine, so a good shape for a 1967 record. I was really happy to find that. I've never been able to find that record, so nowadays that's kind of what I'm looking for, is stuff I have very rarely seen or have never come across, because I've owned and sold so many records over the last 30 years that sometimes it's hard to find something new. Speaking of, T-Bone Walker, T-Bone Blues is one that I have had on my list for I don't know how long, and I picked this one up today actually at a flea market, antique market. But a great version of Stormy Monday on here, and just fabulous guitar. If you don't know T-Bone Walker, he's one of the early Chicago blues players. Always played with orchestras too, so he had a lot going on. But you can see in the picture he's playing the guitar behind his back, and he was the first guy to start doing that. And as well as he would do that and do the splits, like just an amazing guitar player. Inspired the likes of B.B. King and people like that. Just phenomenal guitar player. If you haven't heard him before, check him out. Up next, this is an album I think I've owned at least 3 times, but I don't have it currently, and I picked it up again. It's Iron Butterfly Heavy. This is on the Atco label. This is a US pressing actually, on the Atco label. But I didn't have a copy of that currently in the collection, and I found one for $5 and picked that up. So great psychedelic rock there from the late 1960s. And one more, another record I've never owned before and never seen. Well, maybe I've come across it, but I've never owned it before. I've owned the Canadian version of this, but this is the UK Moody Blues, the Magnificent Moodies, their debut with Denny Lane, and the big hit off this record was Go Now, and this is on Decca from 1965, so very cool. This pressing, I believe, is a 1970 pressing, so just a few years later, but British UK pressing and on Decca. So that one was one as well that I hadn't come across for a long time, if ever. I'm not sure, but I've had the Canadian version for many years. But I always like the cover on that one and the way it's written. So kind of a neat. I'm a big sucker for UK pressings. I like them a lot. They're pretty cool. So that was the LPs I got. There's a few 45s. I got a couple of 45s anyway. One is this Deep Purple Black Knight Harvest label with Speed King on the other side, and pretty cool. I love Deep Purple stuff. There's something behind me which I will be doing a video on soon that I just moved into here, but this black box back here is a Deep Purple road case, so I'm gonna talk about that in an upcoming episode. But that one was a new one. And speaking of, I'm gonna show you some Van Halen stuff in a minute. This I just picked up. This is the original You Really Got Me 45 Van Halen with Atomic Punk as the B-side. Okay, so as I mentioned at the beginning, I'm going to do a new display in my studio featuring some Van Halen material, and I like to rotate my collection. I don't have a big enough space to have it all out at the same time, but I like to rotate things through and feature a band for a little while and then, you know, kind of rotate into another band. So the Van Halen stuff is coming out, and this is going to be some of the pieces I'm going to put into this display, so I thought I'd show it to you before I do that. There's kind of a mishmash of stuff from both David Lee Roth era and Sammy Hagar era. This is a nice mid-80s, this is David Lee Roth era, backstage pass at a show in Atlanta, an after-show pass. And that one was off the, I think the 85 or 84 tour. It's around that time. That's going in there. I have a nice old photograph. Somebody just gave me this, and shout out to Cranston Barnett if you're watching. Thank you very much for this. This is a photograph from a show in Oakland in 1980, I believe, and taken from right at the front. So this is a very cool photo. That's going to go in there. Unpublished photos like that are something I've always collected, so that's a really huge piece. So thanks very much for giving me that one, because I'm thrilled to own that. This is a picture of Sammy Hagar and myself at the Gibson Lounge in Toronto. And right there, it's kind of out of the picture, but I'm holding a tequila shot. This was a party that Sammy threw to get his brand of tequila into Canada and to get into distribution. So this was a party to sort of celebrate the launch of that, and he was really cool to hang out with and to get to know. So that was really good. And in his hand is right there this Chicken Foot CD, which he signed for me that night. So that's going to go in that display as well. I've met Sammy a couple of times. I've got a couple of other things here with him on there that I'm going to put in the display. First off, this is kind of a fun one. This is a signed drum head, and there we go. It's Michael Anthony, Alex Van Halen, and Sammy, and then he wrote "Loves," which is kind of a funny thing. So there you go. That's a neat drum head. Eddie never signed. I never got Ed to sign for me. I met him before. He just wasn't doing that. So, that's how it goes. This is Alex and David Lee Roth on this record. Eddie did give me a pick, which is what's up there. So do have a pick from him, and kind of a cool display, at least with that in there. But David Lee Roth and Alex Van Halen on there. And the other piece that's going to go into that display is another Sammy Hagar item. Sammy's solo record. Sammy, and this is Dave Webb, the drummer that's on this album, and I got them to sign that at a Sammy Hagar solo show where they were opening for, I want to say Aerosmith, I think, at the time. So there you go. Those are some pieces that are going to go in this new Van Halen display. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you're a big fan of rock and roll and you like records, guitars, and stories about rock and roll, be sure to give us a like and subscribe and ring that bell. It helps us to grow the channel and keep more stuff coming. Thanks a lot. So there it is, just a quick video today on Thanksgiving Monday and Columbus Day in the U.S. So happy holidays to everybody, and I hope you all had a great and safe weekend and got to hang out with some family and enjoy yourselves and have some downtime. So that's what it's all about. Spin some records. I was able to do a bit of that today and also hit a flea market, which is a lot of fun too. So I hope you enjoyed that little look at this week's pickups for the collection and a new display that I'm putting together featuring some of my Van Halen material. So there you go. Keep rocking, keep collecting. We'll see you next time.